What's up? I did my first live yesterday and I felt like the quality was really bad, so I'm gonna see if I can test out what the quality will be like inside. Let me get situated here. Oh, also, I don't know if the sound is working that good. When I log in here, maybe you'll let me know. Dang it. I gotta sign in. All right. I'm logging in myself here. And it's not pulling up yet. So hold your comments until I can get loaded. It's thinking. Come on. Okay, let's see how live this is. Getting closer. Okay, so I don't think I can see it live. I'm on a little bit of a delay, so if there are any questions, I'm not going to see them. It's all about testing, you know what I mean? I don't know how to do this. So, give me a second here. Must look like a train wreck to somebody watching this. So I'm going to type in my own question here and see if I can. Okay, again, I'm testing out the different, setting, because yesterday I felt like the quality was really low. So anyway, I guess I can't see the questions. If anybody asks a question, I can't see it because the camera that's live is right there. And so I think that's where the questions would go. Will somebody type a quick question or say hi, just so I can see what I can see here? Oh, I think I see it. All right, let me see if there you go. Thanks, Grace. Hi, Freddie. I appreciate that. All right, cool. So I guess I could ask questions. I could see questions and interactions now. So we can try and see if this will work out. So yeah, today I just wanted to kind of, again, test the quality inside. It was pretty bad yesterday. So I'm going to see what it's like, actually connected better to the Wi-Fi and indoors, that kind of stuff. So this is my desk. Maybe, oh shoot, if I stand I won't be able to see. Let's see what it'll look like. So it's one of those desks that go up and down. Not sure, let's see. Okay. I'm going to sit down. Okay, so what are we doing today? Today we're going to be doing some marketing, video marketing. Actually, I should say videos. We're going to do some videos today. training is the big theme for this year. So the garden manager, Daisha, is going to be recording one of my garden foremen to do weeding. So we're going to try and make a training video for weeding. So we're going to start off with like the most simplest service. And today we're also going to record some rose pruning, so we can have a video for, you know, training. So we'll have that in the office, so we can do some in-office training, talk about it in detail till we make them sick about weeding. Then we'll go out in the field and have a setting so that they can train them out in the field. But we want to show them a video first, so they kind of have an idea of what they're getting into, and then they're going to have a trainer out in the field training. So that's kind of what we're doing, and today's like the second video. We made a video to show the techs how to use the app. We're still tweaking that and working that. So this will be the second video, weeding, and then the third one will be rose pruning. All right, so I got some questions here. Best way to market for new lawn maintenance customers? Thanks, man. So if you have any customers, I don't know, hey Travis, if you have any customers at all, you want to upsell them directly, whether by email, phone calls, that's kind of what we do. You know, the most tried and true form of marketing is getting out there on the pavement, putting door hangers in the market, in the areas and the houses that you want to actually market. So I have a door hanger. Let me find it. All right, I can't find my door hangers. I was able to find a house cleaning one. So basically we show services. So act like this is a mowing door hanger, something like this. And then on the other side, we have a little message. Let's see what it says. We're in your neighborhood every Wednesday. We can put you on our route. Basic cleans are whatever. This one, it was $35 per man hour, so this must have been a really early one. And again, this is for house cleaning. We don't really do this service anymore. I'm kind of revamping it, starting over, resetting, because I wasn't really happy with the launch that we did last year. So you can put a custom message there when you go to a property that you want to maintain. Like, let's say this is a property that's right next door to another one, and you know that if you were able to do that house too, it'd be a convenient stop. Maybe point out some interesting things about that property when you leave a door hanger on there. So put a message like, I noticed that you have some roses that could use pruning. I would love to take care of that if you hire me for mowing. Something like that, you know? Get them to really feel like you really paid attention to their property. I think that would be a good way of getting new customers. And then you also have the basic door hangers that are just, you don't write anything on it, you just kind of have your services. So this is my Christmas light door hanger. So pretty basic. Another good way, you know, find a local marketing company. I know that's probably not what you're thinking, but if you have a website, driving traffic to your website by paying a company early on is a good way of doing it. I know there's a local company here. You know, maybe if you message me somehow, I can give you their info. I know they have packages starting from, I want to say $4.99, then they have like $7.99 and then $9.99. You have 3 different packages. The first package will get you a website. They'll build a website. they'll do that for you, and they build a good one. Like one of the things I love about my website is that it's easy to use. I made it myself from Squarespace, but I've had other marketers try and, when I've tried to hire them or go through the onboarding process, they all want to change my website. And I'm like, you're not going to touch my website. I love my website. That's a deal breaker. Don't even talk about it because it's easy to use. It tracks leads. It works great. So if you can make your own website, that's great. But if you don't have the time or don't want to do it, hire somebody to do it. And usually they come with a marketing plan kind of included. So either you pay for it, you get the website whether you pay for making a website or not. It's just part of the package. So you may want to look into that. Let's see. Did I like the P for P book by Mike Andes? James. Yes and no. All right, so let's talk about the book. So first of all, have you read the book Profit First? To me, it's similar in the way that there's a system in the book. You just have to find it. Profit First. So talking about Mike Michalowicz's Profit First book, I read it, implemented it, didn't really work out. I was doing it wrong. I had a friend of mine kind of basically come to my shop, hold my hand, and show me exactly how to set up Profit First. But before he did that, I read Profit First probably, I'm not joking, the audiobook too, by the way. I don't read books, I listen to audiobooks. I must have listened to that 7 times. And there are probably, I don't even remember, 20 chapters, but there's only like 1 chapter where he talks about Profit First. And that reminds me of the same thing with the P for P book by Mike Andes. He's got all these chapters, I think it's chapters 1, 2, and 3 where he's just kind of talking about how he ran his business. And then I think chapter 4 is when he actually dives into P for P. And then he goes, the rest of the book is again, how he's running his businesses and things like that. So it's kind of like I've got to reread that book again because I try to pay attention to, listen to how to implement it and stuff, but it didn't really stick out on how to do it. Now, from listening to Mike Andes and watching his videos and talking to people that have done P for P, I pretty much get it, but I was kind of hoping to hear it from the book, but I don't know. It just didn't stick with me for some reason. And I went to the conference, I went to his Landscape Summit conference in hopes that he was going to talk about P for P. But he didn't. My friends that I went with there said that he talked about it in great length last year and the year before when they had it live. But I was like, okay, I get it that he talked about it in the past, but I wanted to hear it this time. I never went to the other one, so I wanted to hear it. And I didn't get that. So anyway, I know you're talking about the book. I love listening to audiobooks, so it's probably a good one to have. Actually, I still have the hard copy, or not the hard copy, the paperback. And I thought it was okay. All right. When it comes to P for P, I've mentioned that to my guys. Excuse me. So I've got guys that they just don't get it. Because I don't get it completely either, but I've tried to talk to them as if I know, just to see if they would be up for making more money in a shorter day, or making no limit to how much they can make. The thing I see with P for P, and I'm not complaining about, I think that I actually have a guy that wants to do it, even though we don't know too much about it. He wants to do it, so I'm not opposed to P for P. But I think it's like a good way to give something to somebody as an incentive. I don't think laying it across the company wide just doesn't sit too well with me because, what if your guys are having a bad week? Punish them because, for whatever reason they're exhausted or they're just not having a good week or they just want to go slow. Maybe they want to take it easy that week. I mean, I don't want to punish them because, in my opinion, if I feel like a worker is not doing very well, I want to get to the bottom of it. But, and if they continue to do bad, they just shouldn't work here. So, you know what I mean? But to reward them for pushing them as hard as they can is great. I think that's definitely something we should do. And I do that in the form of bonuses. But if they just want to take it easy and relax, I mean, I have guys that have been mowing for, like, their whole working careers have been mowing. And at some point, you know how it is. It's labor intensive. They're gonna get tired. I just don't. It just doesn't sit right with me that I'm gonna not pay them as much as I could because they're going slower. Now I get it's all like numbers game. That's cool. Like I get it. I get it. But to lay it across the board, kind of like that's just the way it is. If you work here, it just doesn't sit right with me yet. I'm not saying I'll never change my mind, and I have an employee that wants to do it, so I'm gonna definitely try it out, and I'm gonna give it my best because I want him to make money. But laying across the board for everybody, I don't know. Just I get it. I get what the whole thing is for, and I get it. We're in business to make money, but I'm also in business because the employees got us here, right? And I just feel like, just tell them, hey, it's either go hard or go home. Because I don't go hard or go home sometimes either. I come in here and I just kind of like, I get it. You need a little break, and you come back and you work hard. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not opposed to it, just not doing it right now. The book, that was pretty cool. Did a pretty cool book, but again, the meat and the potatoes are like in one chapter, and you gotta find it. I don't, but I guess that's how most books are when you're implementing something, because they want to explain to you why you want to do this, and then they talk about it for like 5 minutes, and then they go into, how it's helped them. So I get it. I get that that's necessary, but I would like a longer, more dumbed down like explanation for me, because when I finally implemented Profit First, man, it changed my life. It changed my life. Those that don't have Profit First, you're nuts. To be able to budget money without thinking about it and being able to spend as much as that budget allows you to is freaking awesome. But you have to implement it right. I've implemented it wrong. Even in that book, he talks about implementing it wrong. And I still did it that way because, I thought I was right. But so that's probably the case with P4P. I just need to listen to the audiobook a couple more times. Or if somebody's implementing it really good and has spreadsheets and numbers that they can show me, that'd probably be the best way for me to see it. And we can figure out a way to make that happen, but, yes, I like the book. All right, let's see. How much longer is your non-compete, and can you not do lawn fertilizations? Sorry, I probably read that wrong. Also, will you have a 22 equipment fleet video? I'm sure I will. Last year, I realized, okay, so we were basically at 1 million back in August. We hit 1 million in August, I believe. So I realized that we still had a lot of time in the year, and we're going to need more equipment if we're going to grow. So I was on the lookout for trucks, used trucks, by the way, trailers, all those kind of things. And I was having a really hard time finding anything. So when something did come up, I took advantage of it. I ended up hiring a mechanic full time so we could buy like trucks that looked good, low miles, but something was wrong with them and they wouldn't start, things like that. So we brought them in here, and so we were fixing them. And so because of that, I've gotten a few more trucks that are working perfect now, and we're adding the cage trailers to them. And my whole point is, like, yes, we just went through COVID, a couple years ago, or a year ago still, and we're still seeing some effects of that. And that was a big black swan event. But I think that the cost of equipment and trucks and trailers is another black swan event that is going to be hitting this year. Even at the DMV, I finally registered 3 of the trucks yesterday that we were working on all year, and one of them had 80,000 miles on it. The other one was 2011. Another one, I paid $500 because it was a piece of crap, and I bought it off somebody's driveway. The DMV lady gave me a hard time. She didn't believe that I only paid that little bit for these trucks. Because 80,000 miles. She's like, how in the world did you pay this? Because you put how much you paid on the title, so that's how much tax, that's judges how much tax you're going to pay. So sometimes people lowball that so they don't have to pay much in taxes when they're at the DMV with a title. So she thought I was doing that and I've brought through at least 40 trucks through the DMV that way. And nobody's ever said a word. But this year, the lady was like, come on, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just buying smart, and I'm buying pieces of crap that I'm fixing myself. And she just didn't believe me, and she said Salt Lake's going to call me. And I'm like, I don't care. Let them call me. I mean, what the hell? I paid cash for these, and they're junkers, and I fixed them myself. So anyway, I believe I think she went off like that because she's seen how expensive trucks have been lately, and possibly people whining and crying about how much, the tax they have to pay for that. So I feel like there's going to be this big event that there's always going to be solo operators. I know that, but I think it's going to be harder for that solo operator to get another truck, get another crew going out there because of how expensive things are. And so we should take advantage of that. We should be buying as much trucks as we can and at a decent price, fixing them up ourselves, because we're going to be ahead of those people that aren't. I mean, right now I've got 6 Mow trucks with cages on them. I might have 7, I can't remember. That's huge, huge. Not to mention all the other trucks that don't have the Mow setups on them. So I think I'm going into the new season in a good spot. So I think I'll definitely have a fleet video because of that. And how much longer is my non-compete? So I just went through 2021, so I still have 2022 and 2023 where I'm going to have to. I can't fertilize. When I first, so those that don't know, I had to do a non-compete for fertilizing because I purchased a company that had, 250 lawn mowing accounts and like 250 active clients that they've done something for that year. So in order for me to get all of those customers, it was pretty expensive, but I wanted to pay it. But the guy that I was buying from mentioned if I were to sell him my fertilizer customers, it would bring the cost way down. And so I really had to think about that, Part of me was like, well, it's not going to be that hard to get the rest of the money, but I also needed to buy all the equipment to service all those new customers, like right from the start. Boom. It wasn't like I'd have the opportunity to buy things as needed. Plus, I already knew it was hard to get equipment, and I was going to get all this new equipment. So I thought, I really have to consider selling him my fertilizer customers to bring down the cost and it was the best decision I ever made. Not so much getting rid of my fertilizer customers, but buying that new company, because it really catapulted us quite a bit. So I've got 2 more years, all of 2022 and all of 2023. Then we'll be able to refertilize again in 2024. And we get a lot of people asking, "Hey, when are you going to fertilize again?" I haven't heard any negative responses from the new company that we sold them to. So I think everything's going great. I just think we just have some loyal customers that are just wanting to pay one place, you know. So the one thing about this whole thing with selling my fertilizer customers is we don't have to do any lawn assessments. It's really, I've done lawn assessments for so long that I forgot how tedious they are. You know, going out there. Now somebody will ask for a lawn assessment. We're like, the best I could do is send you a sprinkler tech, because we don't really do lawn assessments because we don't do fertilizing. So we can't fix any issues with insects or, disease in the lawn. So that's been kind of cool. But again, it is something I kind of miss doing, and I can't wait till we start doing that again. And when we do start doing that again, I'm going to really try and streamline the setup on that a lot better than before. I like the way I had my fertilizer tank and everything, and how the truck was set up, but I didn't really like the way that we mixed it. It was a little time consuming, especially because we only had one truck. So when we get back into that, I'm going to go bigger on that. What's up, Princess Cut George? Let's see here. Isn't that just the P for P? If they slow down, the pay is based on output. Yeah, correct. So you got to put down like a minimum like wage that they're going to make if they slow down. I get it. And I just think everybody slows down every now and then. I just feel like I don't want to punish guys or pay them less because they're having a bad week. I just don't. It just doesn't sit right yet. But I'm going to test the P4P out with one of the guys that wants to do it, and I think there's a second one that's kind of gets in the conversation every now and then about it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make my workers happy. If that's what will make them super happy, I'll do it, and I'll still give them bonuses because I want them to be even more happier. But that's all it's about. I've done some things not like P4P, but I've done other things that my workers thought would benefit them better if I did that for them, and I did it because I said, you know what, if that's what's going to keep you doing what you're doing, let's do it. And then it comes back to me, like 3 months later, saying he did the math, and it turned out that he actually would have made more money doing it the way that the other guys are doing it. And I said, hey, I just did what you said, and I feel like that's going to happen with P4P. And I just want what's best for them. So if we're going to test it with one of the guys this year, great. And if it works out and all the other guys want to do it, perfect. I'd rather slow roll it out that way than saying, hey, mandatory new way of doing this. Here you go. Because ultimately it's the guys that are going to be happy to do it or not happy to do it. And I don't want to force it on them, So we'll see how that goes. That's the key to wealth. Too many people like to buy high and sell low. Wealth transfers from the impatient to the patient. Right on. So, let's see. Do I answer that? Nobody's here. Long Thumbs, this is Freddie. How can I help you? Hello? Nobody. Or telemarketer. Anyway, yeah, Rachel should be here any minute. Actually, she comes in at 9, so. And Daisha is setting up the training place where the guys are going to shoot a video today. So she's getting that all set up. Some of the guys are in the backyard now working. What's up, Walter? We still got to do that call, man. One thing about calls, man, I talked to some people on some calls, and some people take me out to lunch to pick my brain, and I feel like I'm giving them everything that I do, and they don't implement it. I don't understand. I don't get that, you know. But I'm pretty hard-headed myself too. Like all these people are saying do P for P, and I'm like, I don't know. So I guess I get it. But sometimes I feel like I give out what works, and I don't see people doing them, even in my like service area kind of thing. But you know. So any equipment reviews lined up? Yes. So I have the Toro 21-inch mower lined up. The thing is, there's like 3 different Toro 21-inch with the clutch, without the clutch. But yeah, that one's lined up. I have a great relationship with my dealer out there, and so I can get some good equipment to review. I want to do some snow equipment reviews, but it hasn't been snowing. It's freaking annoying. Have I looked into the ramp rack? The first time I saw it was at the Landscape Summit last week, and I thought it was freaking awesome. I never seen one in person, and it was awesome. Compare that to what I have. Looks the same. Okay, it looks like my media guy's here. By the way, this is a mirror, but it's to see the camera behind me. Sometimes my employees will come in and be like, dude, you seriously just look at yourself the whole time? Hold on, let me unlock the door so he can come in while I'm sitting down. If he even comes in. Let's see. All right. So yeah, so compare the ramp rack to what I have. The ramp rack doesn't have room for grass, but you know, mine does. I have those cages where you can lift up and throw the grass out. In a perfect world, we wouldn't bag grass. We wouldn't, in a perfect world. But every once in a while we need to bag grass, and so I like having that extra space. I guess you could do that, you know. I mean, if we really wanted to add something to the ramp rack, we probably could. But I was really impressed with the ramp rack. But no, I don't have any of those. I heard they're good. So George from Princess Cut, the new Ariens crossover 20-inch snowblower is a beast. It's cheap and powerful, perfect for clearing driveways and sidewalks. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you know, that's another thing. It's like I have snow blowers for all the residential guys. I guess they're 21-inch, you know, the regular snow blower, and they don't use them. It bugs the crap out of me because, you know, I paid for that. Oh, I think that's Fernando. Who's that? Oh, it's Ty. So that's my media guy, and he's supposed to go shoot some video today. See if he comes in. What's up, Ty? Hey, I'm shooting a quick video, but you can talk to me like normal, whatever you need.
You don't have audio on or anything?
Yeah, the audio's on.
Oh,
So, did you talk to Daisha?
not yet.
What's up? This is Ty. You want to come over here and say hey? I can't see it live, like there's a little lag, but it'll be there. Let's see.
There it is.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So, by the way, the app video, awesome. Awesome. We just need to like,
well,
I need to do a voiceover while you're doing it and pause it, because it's really fast.
well, I know, I threw everything together, like, just because
Yeah,
like, after I was kind of looking at things, and I was just like, this is gonna be
yeah.
really long
I know.
to explain
Yeah.
this, the whole app,
I didn't realize how much you knew about the app, so you were explaining
We're
everything.
for 2 years.
Yeah, I
was
know,
kinda like,
I know, but like some of those things, like reassigning to somebody else.
I didn't
job.
actually do the reassigning thing
Okay.
because I was kind of like, well, I was sitting there thinking like, okay, put myself in, like when I first worked with you, like something,
Right.
like put myself in that spot again, like
Yes.
how was it trying to figure out
Yeah.
the app? So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, from that perspective, how can I do this to help explain to someone brand new?
Right.
Walk in the door,
Yeah.
you hire them, like,
Yeah.
okay, this is how you work the app, and so
Yeah.
they kind of,
No, it was great.
They
I
know,
think it
and-
was perfect. We just
but
obviously, were you thinking that I'm going to do a voiceover on it,
well,
or what?
my first
Because
initial
it
thought
goes
was,
really fast.
yeah, my first initial thought was yes, but then, I mean, I could slow it down, obviously, that's not a problem, but my other thing was like splitting it up into the sections of like, the simplest, like, this is how you log in.
Right.
This is like that really long
Yeah.
3-minute one
Yeah.
is doing the job.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's the whole from like them driving to like all the way to finishing the job, and this is the basics. It's not like and I did a different one where like adding a crew member
Yeah.
if you need to,
Right.
but I didn't go into details of like, look, you can actually like assign a crew member to different
Okay.
jobs.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't do like that
No,
specifics,
That's cool. Just to get them
but
on their own because the crew leader didn't show up one day. So it's like, here, this is not a drill.
Yeah.
You've got to go.
so that's
You know.
why I had the different segments of
Yeah.
like the simple, like this is how you add a crew member, simple, short plain
Yeah.
video, like this is how you do it, this is what you do,
Yeah.
and then like I made a simplicity thing of like the clock in, the lunch, the break and stuff. I didn't go through each one of them because I'm like, that's why at the end I was kind of like each one of these does the exact same thing. You push it, you start it, and you tap it again. You tap your picture, and it brings up, stop
Mhm.
lunch, stop break, stop whatever. I'm like, it's the same thing for all of them. That's how you do your employee, the individual, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I said your employee time clock,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know.
We got to do it in Spanish too.
But I
So can you do the same exact thing but in Spanish? And then whenever we edit it, I'll do the voiceover or whatever.
yeah.
And then your
I just-
app, to do an app so that we have all those tutorials in one place is awesome idea.
Well, because I was.
Well, let me kind of finish up here.
All right, you're
Cool.
good.
All right, so next question was, have I considered doing a box truck before you had the utility bodies on the beds? No, I never considered that. I've seen people do that. I think it also depends on like your area. If you got a lot of theft, I think that would make you kind of compelled to do that. The way we have the cages on the trucks, that alone too prevents theft. But no, it's not something that. Dacia's running 15 minutes late. And Fernando said something. Hold on, let me see.
Are you answering questions of people or what?
Yeah, I am, but Dacia sent a text. I'm running late and she'll let Fernando know she'll be there soon. So when they come out, maybe you just start going over it with them.
Yeah.
And Walter, longtime guy that watched our videos for a long time, says he wants to do the Spanish voiceovers. Thank you, Walter. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Whichever.
I know Spanish too, by the way, but
Well,
that'd be awesome.
it's whatever you think that's going to be best
Yeah.
for all your employees to understand.
Right. Well, we need that one in English and the way that you got it set up, and then we need to pause so I can say it, because when the words come up on what you're gonna do, I think you also need to say it.
Yeah, we can.
You know what I mean? And then me just reading it will take longer than that is, so we gotta pause it.
Yeah, that's
You
why,
know?
like, they say usually with reading stuff, you wanna leave it for like at least 3 to 4 seconds for people to actually
Yeah.
read it. But then that's why I thought like, well, the voiceover thing would work
Yeah. Yeah.
great
And
too,
then-
like explaining like.
Yeah, and if you
look,
just do it in Spanish with the, just like Google Translate on the words, and then I'll do the same thing. Or Walter will.
yeah,
That'll be cool. I don't know
whatever,
how we'll get them here.
whatever will work, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then how many lawns do we service per day? And how many people per crew? What's your average lawn size? I should probably get the average lawn size. I don't think that's hard for me to do. I may try to do that while I'm talking. If I have that on one of my spreadsheets here. If not, no. I can find that out and I'll do that on another live, but I figured out my average cost my average revenue per customer is $1,400. I was really excited about that. But I'm just guessing what the average lawn size is, probably 5,500 square feet. Last year we were doing 90 to 100 lawns a day. Crazy, crazy. That was with 5 crews. Some of those crews had like 34 lawns in a day. Ty, you were 2 years ago, how many were you doing a day?
Between 30, 40.
20, 30, 40. That is nuts.
Yeah.
So there were some crews that were doing 35 lawns a day. There were some that were doing as low as like 20 or 15 just because of the area where we had those customers. So
Big ones.
yeah, and the guys that had 34, they were like boom, 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 like the houses were right next to each other. So that's why some of those guys had so much more. Let's see here, and we had 2 people per crew. But going into this new season, I haven't really told anybody yet. Actually, I told one guy, and he's going to be our trainer. Chris is going to be the trainer. What do you think about that?
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, and I think he'll feel more like involved, kind of like take ownership of like, hey, I'm the gatekeeper, so show me that you can do this. Like, I feel like he's going to do well in that, and I think he's going to do well in that. But
Stewardship.
so we're going to go one-man crews, except he's going to be training people, hopefully a lot. So he probably won't be alone a lot, but I think that's still going to be important. But yeah, so we're going to try that out. That's another thing that that I'm gonna have to like see what the guys think about it. I was going to announce that February 28th at our kickoff. We're doing the bowling kickoff, by the way. So in Saratoga Springs. So that's kind of, so we did 2 crews last year, 5 crews. Sorry, 2 guys per crew. We had 5 crews. I tried to get the 6th crew hired, and I just couldn't do it. I could never find an extra crew hired or moved because our gardens were so filled with workers and jobs that I couldn't move them to do it. So we really needed 6 so that some of those guys that were doing 34 lawns a day didn't have 34 lawns a day. But it is what it is. And then, but when we actually lost a crew sometime in the season, so we were down to 4 crews, I was able to find a 5th crew, luckily, fast. So I think also it's like when you feel the pressure, it's like, oh crap, you're gonna die. That's when I was able to find another crew. But when we were okay, but I was trying to find a 6th, we couldn't find it. So anyway, that's kind of how we did it last year, but this year I'm hoping that we have 1 man per crew, and we'll give them like 15 lawns a day. Now, the reason why I think we're going to have 15 lawns a day instead of 35 is because we did raise our prices a lot, so I'm thinking that maybe that'll balance it out. But just with the crew leads, we should have 5 crews to start the season. And they all have grandstands now because last year that was one of the big things. You know, with our big lawns that we had last year, I don't know if you know this, but one of the crew guys actually was asking me for a grandstand, and I was like, I can't afford it, man, you know? So he gave me the money to buy one. What do you do at that point? So I had to buy one. And I had to pay him back, but that's how bad he needed it. He gave me the money to buy one. So, so then what does that have? Then I had to buy one for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I wonder if it was like planned, you know, like they got together and said, hey guys, so I'll chip in, who's gonna who's gonna get the grandstand?
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
And we're gonna give this to him, and he's gonna have to buy one. And then it worked, and I had to buy him. But I felt like I had to at that point. And it really did help with morale and everything. You know, we have some big lawns. So there's Fernando. Let's see, 36 lawns, 3-man crew. Most we did is 46. I believe average on 5 to 6 lawns. You mentioned 1,400 per customer. Is that with all the services incorporated, strictly mowing? No, all the services we do, everything, including aeration, all that kind of stuff.
Morning.
Now, the mowing, what's up, Fernando? The mowing, there was a video that I did, and we were up. Let me talk about that. You guys, I'm doing a quick video.
Oh, sorry.
You want to say hey? You want to say hi to the people watching? This is my foreman, Fernando.
Hi.
It's a little late. It'll be here in a second, but
Okay.
yeah, dude. So actually, you're the foreman, but you're also going to be a trainer this next year, training everybody, right?
For sure. We are very exciting for this.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, he's going to be training people and in charge of the gardens. He's the gatekeeper for the gardens. If he says he's good or not good.
Good or not good?
And that's kind of how you get through the garden division with us. Let's see here. You want to get a tour of multi-force? Yes. It is important to have a multi-force because, you know, it's important to use all the equipment all year round, not just sitting here. Although it is good, right now we're maintaining a lot of equipment that it's good that it's just sitting here so we can go through them. Anyway, hey Fernando, why have you stayed working here? That's what somebody's asking.
What?
Why do you like it here?
I think it is a good job for me,
Yeah,
and I'm very happy
yeah.
of this job.
So, you put your wife through college,
Mm-hmm.
you bought a house, he bought a house working here, and he bought my truck. He bought my damn truck.
His turn.
He bought my truck
My
off of me,
truck.
alright?
Where's the truck?
He made an offer I couldn't refuse, so I had to sell my black truck. That's why you don't see it in the videos anymore. Yeah, so the next question is, did you hire a horticulture person to run your division at first?
Yeah, about money
Yeah.
is very good.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy because the job. Because if you are happy for
Yeah.
your job,
Yeah,
it's better for you because
yeah.
it's not so hard.
yeah.
You know?
It brings you joy.
Yeah.
That's why I come in still, because I like it. You know?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. So Fernando doesn't run the garden division. He's the foreman. He's in charge of the workers and the projects. But yeah, Daisha does the estimating. She buys the plants. Well, she orders the plants. Fernando gets them
Horticulture.
and tells people how to plant them. So he's the foreman of the whole division, all the garden maintenance guys and all the cleanup crews and landscaping, but he doesn't actually do the estimates yet. Yet. So, but yeah, a horticulturist still runs the division and probably will do so for a long time. Okay, yeah, so we're just waiting on Daisha, I guess.
Yeah. She said around 15 minutes.
Okay. So maybe you want to show him some of the stuff. Do you have a video camera, or are you just, or are we gonna do it? Or are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Well, because maybe there's something out here while you're waiting. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is where you park. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's what you want?
I-
I mean, yeah.
Just whatever. But anyway, good to see you, man.
Okay, see you guys.
Well, let's see here. Now, there was a question here on the mowing, how much we did.
What do
I actually haven't laid out all the different divisions, what they've done yet. I should have done that. But because the way that my reports are, I don't see it plainly. I have to go through each line item and say, oh, that's the lawn care division, that service is the sprinkler division, that service. So I have to like add it up myself, and I haven't done that with the mowing or gardens. I did it with the sprinklers because because this year we're really gonna push sprinklers, and I wanted to see kind of how we did last year, the way we did it last year in preparation for this year. So we're gonna go big on sprinklers this year. But I made a video last year talking about we were up to $16,000 a week on mowing. Literally 2 weeks later, we went up to $20,000 a week mowing. So that'll be interesting to see how much it all totaled out to. But I mean, I'm guessing it's 500,000 just mowing. I'm just guessing. I probably shouldn't have said that because I don't really know for sure. But probably on the next video, I'm gonna make a list of things I should have on the next video. So the first one is the mowing revenue. I think that's important to know. So 1.5 million, how much of that was mowing? That's how much we ended with last year. This year, realistic goal is 2.1 million, but my big, hairy, audacious goal is 3 million. And the reason why it's going to be 3 million is because we're going to make a big, big push for sprinklers. So basically, if we keep everything the same, we should end at 1.5 or 2. But because we're pushing sprinklers so hard, my goal is going to be 3 million. Because if we have 5 sprinkler techs doing $1,200 a day, that'll be $1 million. So that's kind of what my goal is for me. That's going to be my big task here, is the sprinkler manager. I'm kind of letting the office and Daisha and Fernando kind of handle the mowing and gardens, and I'm going to be focusing on that. So let's see if I can answer some more questions here. Daisha,
Hello.
hey, might as well say hi to the camera like everybody else did.
Oh, okay.
So Daisha, the garden manager, is here, and this is her. So it's on a little lag, so it'll show up in like a minute.
I
But
was like, I'm not there.
she's a vampire.
I said the same
I'm
So-
thing.
there, okay.
I said the same thing. I was like,
So Daisha is a
Broken.
force. She just gets things done, and she's a badass for sure. So she fits right in with everybody.
skis in the car.
So let's see here.
My skis,
Um,
skate skis, boots. I had a.
So
what's it called?
you get a lot of
Skimble
pushback at
last night.
$50 a cut. A while ago, I basically said to the office, we're getting pushback on some of these prices, but if we're not making money, what are we doing? You know, so you have to figure out how much you need to break even paying the rent, lights, gas, trucks, all that stuff per cut. You need to figure that out. You can find that out. There are tools and calculators to do that. And then you gotta add your profit, how much you want to make profit after that. And that's what you need to charge. And if customers say you're crazy, say sorry. I'm crazy that I'm in business to make money and I need to pay for everything. I'm not in business to pay to do jobs. So you have to figure out what your numbers are there really is a way of doing it, not just saying, oh, we've raised them $5 every year, so we must be right. That's not how you do it. You gotta add up all your bills, all your loans, how much you pay your office staff, add it all up for the whole year. That's one way of getting that total, and then smarter people than me have figured out what to do with that number, but there is a way of doing it. All right, and then same thing with the mow crews. You got to find out how much your truck costs, how much the equipment is, how long you use each equipment, how many mowers on each truck, all the stuff about that truck. And you got to add all that up, and how much you pay your guys, and you have to figure out how much the taxes, the tax rate for your state, the workers' comp, all that kind of stuff. You have to add all that up. And then it will spit out a number. And then you add all that up. And again, smarter people than me have figured out what to do with those numbers. And that's what you're supposed to charge per hour for your mowing. And mine came out to $70 per man hour. That's crazy, but that's what it is. That's what it costs to run with good software. The way that we run our business so that customers get things done when they call, that's what it takes. Yes, that scares some customers away, but they come right back because they realize that they're paying somebody for reliability and response time. That is the most important thing. So if you get pushback, just move on, man. Just move on. Because if you're not making money, what are you doing? That's kind of like our motto here. I should probably have a banner that says that. If we're not making money, what are we doing? So that's kind of our philosophy when we're offering services. We've got to make sure we're making our money. We're not doing this for free. So anyway, let's see here. How do you pay for estimates and designs? So you pay as good as you can. To keep good people, you got to pay them. I also know there are ways to pay for performance with Office. I just don't really know how to do that yet. So the way that we bonus out, is that Rachel? Yeah. Rachel's here. I'm doing a live real quick, but I want you to say hi. Everybody said hi so far.
Great.
It's I didn't realize we're having a full house today. So there's a little lag, but there's the camera. This is Rachel, awesome GM. She runs the business. Everybody knows if I die, she's in charge. In fact, she's in charge now. So, but what I mean is even my family is yeah, if you die, we'll call Rachel for our checks or whatever. So anyway, she's awesome. She handles everything. The buck stops with her with customers. So if a customer has an issue or something, nobody can answer, she'll take it. And she also does all the training, and she helps out. She's what we call the floating star, right? So if somebody if Daisha were to call off, she would help her. She would fill in for her, that kind of stuff. So she's super, super valuable. But as far as the garden manager, the bonus structure I do is based on how many crews she has out there going out by themselves. So as long as each crew that hits their man-hour rate, she gets $15 a day bonus. So if she has 5 crews out there and they all hit their man-hour rate, she gets $75 bonus that day, just for that day. And that can add up, So it's in her best interest to try to get trucks out there, as many as she can, going out there. So it's important that Fernando trains people so that they can go off on their own. It doesn't matter if that truck has 4 guys on it or 1. If they come back at the end of the day and they all hit their man-hour rates, every single hour they were clocked in from start to finish, she gets that bonus. So that's kind of how we do that. And let's see, I'll try and answer just a couple more. It doesn't say, this is my first time trying to do a Facebook Live. Inside, I did one yesterday outside, and the quality was really bad. So I'm trying to see what the quality's like inside. And but it doesn't show me how long I've been doing this today, so hopefully it's not gone on too long, but I'll try to answer a couple more questions. Okay, it's Ty again. Let's see. Appreciate those that are saying they enjoy my videos. Okay, last question. And you can go back if you need to.
Okay.
Sorry. For scaling your business, and what was the best thing you did to get there from first crew? Hired Rachel. Okay, no, when you got here, we had a few people, right?
We had one more crew.
One Mo crew, we had Stacia.
Yeah.
Stacia and you.
Yeah.
Right? So, maybe you could answer, what did we do to grow?
A lot of it was word of mouth of customers.
Customer word of mouth, so reaching out to them, asking them if we, well, upselling was our biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
Upselling is the most important thing. So if you've got 20 customers, just send them an email once a week. Just once a week, right?
Yeah, we started sending a blast email to all of our customers once a week.
Once a week. So they're not good, they want to hear from you. They want you to do more work. So upselling is I would say the main thing. But then the really thing that, I mean, that's the main thing. But to get in that, so when you came on, we were about 250,000 in revenue. It took us a little bit to get to 500. But when we were at 500, that's when I was like, all right, we're going to go out and get as much work as we can and then figure out how to do it. So like, leading up to that year, my goal was to just make sure we go to every customer that calls. So if a customer called us, my goal that year was to make sure that we did the job for them. So we would never say, we're too busy, or wait so long that we couldn't get to them. So my goal was to just make sure we're on time, like, that was my goal. So that was what I was really worried about. So I think that hindered my growth from 250 to 500 in revenue. But once we were at 500, I was like, all right, let's stop playing around. Let's get as much work as we can, market everywhere, paint the trucks, that's what we painted the trucks, all the same color, so that we kind of made our brand a little more noticeable. And then it made a huge difference. So the truck having, at that time when we painted them all, I think we only had like 4 or 5 trucks, but everybody said they saw our trucks everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was huge, but the thing is, when we're at 500, we're like, we got to get as much work as we can. Then we'll figure out, like, once our back is up against the wall, we'll figure out how to get it done. Whether that's hiring anybody or just training people to do more jobs or us doing it. Rachel did a lot of work, so did I, while we're growing this thing. But it was just, that was our mentality, was get as much work as you can and then figure out how to do it. Would you like to add any more to that?
We couldn't have grown if Freddie didn't know how to keep his employees happy, so that's a priority, obviously.
So keeping everybody happy, I mean, I think that's definitely important, and especially when you get a little bigger too. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like people see, we're pretty open about how much we're making and stuff, but I think that I was talking to somebody who's in another industry, and they want to buy this nice car because I want to buy a nice car. And the only reason why I haven't done it is because they haven't started building them yet until the end of this year. But anyway, that person in the other industry was like, she can't buy a new car because it's going to look bad for her co-workers. Even though she's on 100% commission based and she makes a lot of money, but it's commission, she feels like she can't buy the car she wants because others around her are going to get jealous, and maybe it's just not going to look right. But I feel like if that business treated all their employees good, I think there's something wrong there, that you can't enjoy yourself because. So I think that, I guess what my point is, make it feel like you're the poor one in your business for a little while, and then when you have a nice established business, then you can get what you want and nobody will say anything. I don't know, but
Well,
treating everybody good. So one thing that we're doing is we're going to sponsor any kid that's in our, like any employee that has a kid that's on a sport team or band or Lego league,
The chess team?
chess team, whatever. We're gonna sponsor them.
I love that.
You know, and what else did we think of? Was there something else?
I can't remember what
Okay.
it was.
Well, helping them out in that kind of way, like setting like a set thing. This is how you pay, we can pay here. I don't think works anymore. I think it's like find out what you need and try and get it to them.
It's time to make it personal.
Yeah, yeah. It's time to get it personal with all the customers because
All of you.
all the employees. What's like? I mean, I can't think of anything right now, but there are times where I had to give this employee this thing, so they're super happy. And if I were to give that extra to somebody else, they'd have been like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Like, I need this. So, okay. So I think it's important to figure out what your employees need and get it to them. Like, I have a friend I talked to a while ago who said that's not running a business because it's not like something that you can train everybody to do, but yeah, you can. Like, when I die and Rachel is here trying to make everybody happy, maybe I don't have to die. Maybe that day will happen better, but
Just don't die, Grady.
I'll try not to. But I get on those Christmas light roofs, man, and I wonder, like, is this the day? So, Rachel could figure out what people want, and she can get it to them, So it's like, I don't think that that's something that can't be done. So, anyway, what's up, Jamar? I know Jamar is trying to think about buying another company. I think it's the best thing you could do. I did that, and it's been amazing. So I think on that note, we will call it a day. Let me know in the comments what you want for the next video. There's a couple here I couldn't get to, but I think we got to call it a day. Everybody's here, so we got to kind of. But you notice nobody asked me what to do. Like, everybody came in and they're ready to go. Everybody knows what they're doing. The guys that are working outside didn't even come in and talk to me. I hear the machine working out there. So, I don't know. Training, trusting people. I'll leave on this one note. It took me a long time to trust anybody. When I was trimming and edging and mowing all the lawns myself, and there were some fences that I had to be really careful in trimming, I didn't think anybody else could do that. So I didn't dare leave that fence to any other employee. I would have to do them all. And then it wasn't until we had 90 lawns and I had to split the crew or else we weren't getting jobs done until Saturday, where I just had to trust. And I feel like by then we had already mowed for like 2 whole seasons. And I feel like I could have split them up or had them mow by themselves right from the start. I just didn't trust. So trusting. I need to trust Rachel to make all the decisions in the office so that I don't have to do it. Because I'm going to be a sprinkler manager. Or other things that I got going in the back out there. So, trust your people. All right. I'm going to stop this. See ya. How do I end that? Boom. There it is.